Hey guys, and welcome to Workout 4. We're going to be working on our deep core and pelvic floor. We want them to be strong, so we'll be activating, engaging, doing something like Kegel exercises, as well as supple. So we're going to be doing lots of stretches, lots of release. Throughout the workout, we're integrating our breath, so we learn to exhale with effort and also to relax the belly and the pelvic floor as we inhale. A lot of times as moms, as women generally, we end up gripping a lot in our pelvic floor, which can cause it to be hypertonic and not responsive when we need it to be. So if it's always kind of gripping, squeezing through your glutes, through your pelvic floor, through your upper core, then when you need those muscles, say you're running or jumping, they might not be able to do the work that they need to do because they're already tired and tense all the time. So we want to be strong so we have that strength, but also supple so that we have that range of motion, right? It's just like your bicep. You can't flex if you're always like this. You need to be able to release, to be able to flex. So I've got a little diagram of the pelvic floor here. So from the rear, this is tailbone, this is the front of our pelvis. So we've got anus, vagina, and urethra. These are the three holes that things pass through. And then we've got all this musculature around it. And when we're doing our pelvic floor exercises, I want you to focus on drawing all three of those sphincters up and in. So things are drawing in together and rising into the body. So you can think we don't have to isolate just vagina or anus. We can do it all together and it's fine. So I want you to practice lifting everything together. A nice visualization is a napkin on the table. If you grab the middle of the napkin and pull it up, the sides come closer together. And that's the support that we're looking for the bottom of our pelvic floor. Even if you had a C-section, you still carried your baby. You still had the weight of your uterus, the placenta, your baby, bearing down on that pelvic floor throughout your pregnancy. So honor that, and let's put in a little bit of work to kind of rehabilitate the pelvic floor. Even if you feel strong throughout the rest of your life, this is something that we still want to focus on. The strongest Olympic weightlifters will work on their pelvic floor and their deep core muscles. And we want our pelvic floor and our deep core and our diaphragm, our breath, to all be working together. Imagine your diaphragm, as you inhale, it moves down to create space for your breath, for your lungs to expand. We want our pelvic floor to relax as we inhale. Then as we exhale, our diaphragm moves up to push the air out of the lungs. We want our pelvic floor to rise up as well. So we've got this kind of movement going on as we breathe with our diaphragm and our pelvic floor. We also can't forget of the core, the muscles all the way around. So as we're inhaling, create space in your belly for your breath. As you exhale, draw in from the bottom up. We don't want to just be gripping at the top of the core. A lot of people end up breathing just in their chest, and we lose that belly breath that babies do so naturally. So today we're going to be working on practicing that belly breath, integrating it with our deep core and strengthening our pelvic floor, then getting a nice stretch throughout so we can stay supple with all of those muscles. Let's get to it. Let's get started in a side lying position. This is one of my favorite positions to start to connect with the pelvic floor because it takes a lot of the pressure off and we get a nice physical and visual representation of what's going on. So hips are stacked one on top of the other. We can even relax head onto a pillow, whatever's comfortable for you. And here, as you inhale, I want you to just let your belly release. Let's practice releasing the grip that we can have on the belly. So inhale, it gets bigger, and then exhale, drawing in from the bottom up. Inhale, expand. Allow belly to pour to the floor, and then exhale, engage from that deep core muscle coming in. Give yourself permission to let go, to let your belly take up space. Tying the movement in with our breath. Let's do a few more breaths on this side. Allowing belly to expand. And then drawing bottom hip up and in. Last one on this side. Big inhale, allow belly to expand. And then exhale, drawing in from the bottom up. Good, and then we'll flip over to the other side. Let's go. So if you feel like this is quite challenging, try not to get frustrated. It can take a little bit of time to kind of reconnect the mind-muscle connection with the deep core and pelvic floor. Right now, we're trying to work on that TVA, that muscle that runs between the hips along the low belly. So allowing things to relax as we inhale, and then pulling. It's almost like we want to pull our hip bones towards one another from the bottom up as we engage the core on our exhale. Let's do a few more breaths on this side. This position is especially great if you're earlier on after having a baby. I love doing this with early postpartum clients. All right, last one here. Nice big exhale. And then we're gonna come to all fours. So I want your hands right underneath your shoulders, and watch that we're not flexing backwards through our elbows. We want to have a little tiny bend. It's like our arms are straight, but we're just not relying on our tendons here for support. We're going to rely on our bones and our muscles. So knees are right underneath our hips, and here we're going to do the exact same thing. So I've got a nice neutral spine here. My tailbone isn't up. I'm not rounded through. I've just created a nice neutral. I'm a little bit active through the front of the core, but as I inhale, I'm going to allow my belly to expand. I'm not changing my spine position. I'm just allowing my belly to expand towards the floor as I inhale. And then as I exhale, same thing from the bottom up, drawing in. Now careful here that we don't just start gripping with the top abs. Inhale, allow expansion. And then exhale, draw from the bottom up. Like you're zipping up jeans from the bottom up. Everything to the midline and in. Now the ribs still move. Of course, you're expanding the ribs as you inhale, creating space for the breath. And then as you exhale, ribs are coming in, but it's not just in the chest and the ribs. We're also focusing on that deep core. Good. Now, we can kick it up a notch by tucking our toes under, still allowing that relaxation on our inhale. And then as we exhale, brace and then lift the knees up off the floor. Continue your exhale until you've gotten rid of every drop of air, and then drop the knees. Inhale, relax belly. Still keeping spine nice and neutral. Exhale, draw in and lift the knees. Inhale, expand, and then exhale, draw in, brace, and then lift your knees once you've already started to activate your core. Squeeze every last drop of breath. Drop the knees, inhale. So now it's almost like we're working against gravity, right? Drawing that belly button in, bracing, and then holding strength through our torso while we lift our knees for added challenge. Drop your knees, inhale. I like to visualize somebody tying a corset, tightening it up. As I'm exhaling here, ribs, belly compress in, getting smaller. Let's do one more. And then maybe take your hands just a little bit further forward and push back into a down dog. So hips are up, soft through the elbows, scooping the shoulders back. Press your heels down towards the floor. Now let's connect with the deep core and the pelvic floor here in this position. We're kind of gravity assisted for a pelvic floor lift because we're upside down. So as we inhale, still relaxing. And then as we exhale, hips come towards one another and pelvic floor rises into the body, gravity assisted. Take your left foot into the middle of your mat, raise your right leg up, bend your knee, and stack your hips. Kick that foot back so we get a nice opening through the front of your quad and your hip. Kick it back, one breath here. And then bring your right foot forward outside your right hand. Here we're gonna sink forward. Inhale and exhale, push back. The core and the pelvic floor, inhale forwards. Do not work in isolation. They tie in with your glutes, with your hips, with your inner thighs. It's one whole big chain. So we want to make sure that we're not holding on to a lot of tension in the low back or the hips, the inner thighs. So I like to really work on mobilizing hips and hamstrings is the hands. Spread your collarbones as you inhale, come forward, and exhale, push the floor away, open up through this front leg back. One more here. Push back. Good. Come forwards, and we're gonna inhale, bring your right elbow down towards the mat, and exhale, reach that right hand up. Inhale, elbow down. It's okay if you don't reach, but we're trying to touch. Exhale, reach up, stack your shoulders, reach your fingers to the sky. Inhale, elbow down. Let's do two more. Exhale, reach up. Inhale, down. And then exhale, wring the breath out of the body, reach up, twist. Good. Hand down and push back into a down dog. Press both heels down to the floor. Take another breath here. Inhale, expand. And exhale, fall back in. Inhale. And bring that left foot forward outside the left hand. Drop the back knee to the floor. Good. On your next exhale, shift your hips back. And then as we inhale, spread the collarbones, pull yourself forwards, hips and hands. One more here, come forwards, inhale. And exhale, push back. Then come forwards, inhale, bring the left elbow down towards the floor. And exhale, reach up. Good, inhale, elbow down. And exhale, reach up. Two more. And last one, these feel so good. Good. Hand down, push back, down dog. Bring the knees down to the floor. Take a nice wide knee, child's pose. Come forward. Rest your forehead on the mat. Good. Let's breathe here. Inhale, expand the belly. And exhale, draw in. Good. Walk your hands back. We're gonna do a little cat-cow in this kind of child's pose, lower body position. So inhale, pull your shoulders open. Exhale, push your spine through your shoulder blades, round through. Inhale, pull open your chest, chest forwards. Exhale, push through, curl the spine. One more. Good job. We're gonna come to half kneeling, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. Tuck the tailbone under. Think about bringing your hips up towards your ribs here. So we're active a little bit through the front of the core, scooping and not allowing this to happen. So active, we're gonna reach. If we've got right foot forward, we're reaching our left arm up and then across towards the right. Nice stretch, big inhale. Good, little spinal twist. So that left hand onto right knee and look behind you. Inhale, tall, exhale, twist further. Good. Let's switch it up to the other side. So bring left foot forward, tuck the tailbone under, active through the front of the core, bringing the hips towards the ribs, ribs down towards the hips. Reach your right arm up and across. Little spinal twist, right hand leverages against the left leg. Look behind you. Inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, push more into that twist. Good, okay, and then we're gonna come to seated. We can just sit in any comfortable position. Cross-legged is fine. Kind of pull the flesh out from underneath your butt. We wanna be on top of our pelvis, so not curled back like this. We're sitting up nice and tall. Now we're gonna do a little bit of pelvic floor exercises. So again, in this seated position, let's just do a little bit more connection breath like we were doing side lying and in our quad. So close your eyes, place one hand on the bottom of your ribs, one hand on your lower belly. Allow your shoulders to relax and inhale, feel your belly expand, your ribs expand. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, create space. Exhale, draw, lift the pelvic floor up and in while belly comes in. So remember that visualization of the four corners of the napkin. We pull the middle of the napkin up, the four corners come in and rise up. That's our visualization for our pelvic floor lifts. You can relax your hands, put them on your knees. Continue with the belly work as you inhale, expand, and then exhale, drawing that pelvic floor up and in. Now, obviously, I wouldn't be able to see even if we were in person, but I want it to feel fairly isolated, like you're not doing a lot on the outside, you're not squeezing your glutes, we're allowing the pelvic floor to do the work. We'll see the belly move, but not the pelvic floor, obviously. Imagine that your pelvic floor is an elevator, and at the bottom we're at ground floor, and then exhale, we lift up to the penthouse. Good. So we're just going to continue as we exhale, coming up to the penthouse, and as we inhale, relaxing down to the ground floor. Do a few more breaths like this. Be patient. It's okay if you don't feel a lot of connection. Keep working at it. Good. Okay, now we're going to do another exercise where we hold at the penthouse. We're going to continue to breathe while the pelvic floor is holding up. We're going to do this for a minute, okay? So inhale, relax. And then exhale, lift up, draw pelvic floor up, and we're holding here for 1 minute. Okay, I'm gonna tell you a little story while we're here and we're active, and it's okay if you start to feel it falter. Just try to maintain, try not to let the glutes take over. We're squeezing pelvic floor up and in. Now, the mind-muscle connection for the deep core and the pelvic floor, if you're feeling like there's nothing there, it's okay. Imagine that the mind muscle, that neural pathway, is like a jungle and we're hacking a path through the jungle. We're still elevated up. Then as that path starts to become, we practice and we build that connection, maybe it's a dirt road and maybe sometimes the message makes it there. Keep lifting up, keep breathing. Then after work, it's paved. And then finally, it's like a supersonic train that just runs on rails and we don't have to do any work. It just works how we want it to, when we want it to. We don't have to think about it anymore. Okay, relax. Inhale, release. And I'm hoping that maybe even if you didn't feel like you could still feel it at the penthouse, that when you released, you still felt it come down a little bit. Now let's do a couple more of our breathwork lift ups. Inhale, release down, and then exhale, lift up to penthouse. Inhale, ground level. Exhale, penthouse. Working with the belly from the bottom of the core up. Few more reps, and then we'll get into our more core exercises. Last one, inhale, release. Exhale, lift up. Squeeze, hold at the top. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, relax. Okay, so lie down. We're gonna do 2 core circuits, 4 minutes through each circuit for a total of 16 minutes of work. Okay, so here I'm in a nice bridge position from the bottom. I'm going to find neutral with my pelvis. So you can do some pelvic tilting here, find neutral, and from that position, we're going to draw hips towards our ribs, just using our core and our deep floor. So we will be pushing the low back towards the floor, but I want to make sure that the movement is not coming from the heels, that it's coming from your core, tilting your pelvis, okay? So inhale, create space, and exhale, draw those hip bones towards the ribs. Inhale, create space. Exhale. The feet are light. It's all coming from that deep core. Inhale, create space. Exhale, draw in. Good. Inhale, create space. Exhale, hips towards ribs, tilting the pelvis, pushing low back towards the floor, active through the front. Good, okay, take a breath here. Just relax, neutral. We're gonna do our next move, which is knee drop. So we're only gonna drop so far that we don't tilt through the hips. We wanna keep both hips rooted. All right, let's inhale, drop one knee to the side. Good, and then exhale, pull that knee in. Inhale, let the knee drop to the side. Exhale, knee comes back to center. So we're feeling like as we extend here, maybe there's a stretch on the inner thigh, and then we're activating this deep core muscle to help to stabilize, to pull that leg back in. So you can find your hip bones, bring your fingers in a little bit, and dig in. Feel for activation in this band of muscle. It's okay if you don't feel it right away. Like I said, we're building that neural pathway, that mind-muscle connection. Good. Take a little rest here. You can hug your knees to your chest. We're gonna be doing one of my favorites next, dead bug. So we're gonna bend the knees, reach the arms up, and from this tabletop position, we're extending opposite arm and leg. Good. Inhale, extend. We're going, let's go. Exhale, draw it in. To make it easier, you can just drop the knee or the foot with the knee still bent, okay? Harder with the legs straight. If the arms are messing you up, just work on the legs. You can keep the arms on the floor. Good. So now, there we go. Meeting it in, opposite arm and leg. And what we're doing here is trying not to allow an arch through the spine. We want to keep things nice and neutral through the core. We're controlled. Good. One more rep. Good. And hug to rest. Now we're going to do the same movement, just the legs, and the arms are going to add resistance. So while I'm extending one leg, this knee is going to push into my hand. Let's go. Inhale to switch, and exhale, push the hands into the knee into the hands. Good. To make it easier, you can kick the other leg up higher and obviously push a little bit less. To make it harder, you kick the leg down lower. We're still maintaining a nice neutral spine. We're not allowing back to arch, ribs to flare. Tie it with the breath. Exhale with effort, breathing out as we push. Breathing in as we return. One more. Good. Hug the knees. Okay, we're gonna do all of that one more round. So finding that position with the feet, and we're back to our pelvic tilt. So inhale, let the belly expand, and then exhale, lighten the heels. The core is working to pull the hips towards the ribs and press the low back down. Inhale, we're just pelvic tilting. Good. A few more here. It's a really slight movement, right? Because we don't want to let other things take over. So not expecting a ton of movement, but you'll feel that pelvic tilt. Last one, finish that exhale. Good, and then with the feet in the same position, we're doing our knee drops to the side. So inhale, knee drops down. Exhale, pull it back in. Inhale, expand the belly, knee drops down. Exhale, pull in. Find the hips, find that activation of the muscle here. You can dig hands in if you're comfortable with that. Not forgetting to allow the belly to expand as you inhale. Exhale, draws in. Not allowing the hips to rock as we go, keeping them nice and stable. Just femur rotating. Last one, exhale, draw in. And then into our dead bugs here. So arms up, legs up. Find that neutral. Easier will be also knees in further, harder, knees a little bit further away. We're still keeping that neutral spine. Let's go. Inhale, expand, and then exhale, draw back in. So you listen, meet your body where it's at. Listen to your body. If you feel like there's bulging or doming, take it down a notch. Keep the legs bent. I already have lost the arms. Here we go. You can even straighten the legs more if you want more challenge. But remember, we're trying to connect to the deep core and not let things take over too much. and compensate. Good, last one here. Good, little knee hug. And then we're doing our dead bug resists. All right, inhale and exhale, extend leg, push hands into knee, knee into hands. Inhale together and exhale, push out. Good. We're almost there. 10 more seconds. Good, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug your knees into your chest. Just rock the knees a little bit side to side, compress, or release any compression that may have happened in the low back. Good. Okay, we're gonna roll over and come to our front. And we're in quad position here. We're gonna work on bird dog, and I wanna keep the ribs and the hips, again, aligned, so we're not allowing things to move this way and that while we're doing the motion. So again, easier may just be doing the legs or even keeping the toe down on the floor. For more challenge, we do arm and leg, and we really activate through that front, right? We're gonna do all on one side at a time. And as we come in, you can round a little bit, but as we reach out, don't allow the rib flare, okay? All right, let's go. So opposite arm and leg. Inhale, allow belly to relax. Exhale, draw in, reach arm and leg up. Nothing in the spine moves here. Draw elbow to knee. And exhale as we reach. This is the harder part to maintain, so we want to exhale here. Inhale together. And exhale to help keep that core active as we reach out. We're doing all on the same side, opposite arm and leg, for 45 seconds, and then we're swapping to the other side. Watch throughout the set that we don't lose it. If you start to lose it, maybe just do the leg. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Reach, sink back into a child's pose here. Take a breath. Good. And then come back into our quad position. Get ready, braced for the other side. Inhale and exhale, reach. Inhale, elbow to knee. We're not doing a big curl though here. Exhale, trying to keep that spine nice and stable. Good. Shoulders tucked back in our supporting arm, not allowing it to crunch up by the ears. Good, rest. Tiny little child's pose here. And then we're gonna bring it to side plank from the knees. So here, we're gonna be working bottom side core. We're working with our breath, but we're also gonna be working glutes. So 3, 2, and 1, we're raising up. Inhale down, exhale, lift up. We're working 40 seconds on this one. Again, supporting arm, shoulder is strong and away from the ear. Inhale, relax down. Exhale, lift up. Good, one more rep, relax down, inhale, and exhale up. Good, let's switch over to the other side. Same thing. Okay, stacked. Inhale down, and exhale up. Working with the breath. That's half of the work of today's session, right? Tying the breath in with the movement. Good, let's do one more rep on this side. Exhale, lift up. Good, and relax down. Get back into your all fours position. We're gonna do another set of our bird dogs, finding that neutral spine. And then let's reach arm and leg. Let's hold here for our first 20 seconds, active through the front of the core. Still breathing and still active, okay? So we're keeping the hips and the ribs together. Good, now we can get into repetitions, knee towards elbow, and reach out, squeeze the core. Tying that exhale where there's more challenge on the core. This is easy. This is difficult to hold on. This is where we want our exhale. Good. All right, relax. Come down to child's pose. And then let's get set up on the other side. Same thing. We're gonna exhale, reach out. The heel doesn't have to come any higher than the bum. I'm just reaching towards the wall behind me. I'm flexing my foot. We're holding here, soft in the supporting arm, shoulder back, squeezing my glute, keeping my hips level, not allowing the pelvis to twist to the side. Good. Inhale, bring elbow towards knee, and exhale, expand. Good, okay, come down to your side plank clamshells, left then right. 3, 2, and 1, let's go. Lifting the top leg as we push bottom knee into the floor. Glute is doing the work to abduct and push legs apart. Bottom side core, strong, supporting us. Good. A few more reps here. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Flip over to the other side. Elbow underneath shoulder, supported. And let's go. We're gonna get into a little bit more stretching after this. A few more reps. Last one here, drive up. Good, and rest. Roll onto your back and hug your knees. You can just rock a little bit side to side, massage that low back. Keep your left leg hugged in and extend your right leg straight. Allow it to come down to the floor. Take your left foot into happy baby. So we're in a half happy baby here. Try not to allow the hips to lift up off the floor. So we're rooted through our pelvis. And get some nice relaxation breaths going here. So as we inhale, expand, belly and pelvic floor relaxes. This is where the suppleness comes in. Good, release that side. Hug your right knee in, left leg is out straight. Then bring that right leg into happy baby, half happy baby. Inhale, expand, relax pelvic floor. Good, and then bring your left leg up. We're gonna meet in full happy baby. Such a good position for relaxing the pelvic floor. So inhale, whatever visualization, maybe you had some visualizations for birth, they will work well for this as well. Inhaling, allowing that flower to bloom. One more. Good. And then bring your feet together and allow your knees to drop down to the side. Have one hand on your belly, one hand on your low belly. Inhale, expand, and exhale, let things fall down in. Allow your knees to gently fall closer to the floor as your inner thighs relax. Release tension. Good. Bring your feet back to our bridge position. We're just gonna rock the knees side to side. There we go. And the last one, a little spinal twist. Hug your right knee in again, and then bring that leg across the body. Root your right shoulder down and look in the direction of your right arm. Exhale, twist a little bit more. Good, and then swap over, same thing on the other side. Left knee, hug it in, and then bring it across the body. Oh, there we go, I got a crack. Awesome job. Thank you for joining me for this one. It's so important to take care of our foundations so that we can build a nice, strong body. I look forward to tomorrow's workout. See you then.